Good Thursday, and thanks for joining us today at noon. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Now at noon, we have the very latest on yesterday's mass shooting at a medical clinic in Tulsa, Oklahoma that left 4 people dead. That story in 2 minutes. And today, the Queen has kicked off celebrations for her Platinum Jubilee. Ian Lee will bring us that story from Buckingham Palace. Plus, could the information in your period tracking app be used against you in court? Our Verified team has the answer just ahead. But first, we're joined with meteorologist Scott Covert. And Scott, there was some rain a little earlier today. Is it moving out? Please say yes.
You know, for some, it is starting to taper off. For others, you're just now really starting to see those showers and those thunderstorms. Let's take a look at what we're tracking this afternoon, on radar. You'll notice there's nothing severe. I've got no warnings popping up on your map. With that said, there are certainly some heavy thunderstorms, some heavy rain moving through parts of southern Arkansas here this afternoon. Some light rain getting ready to move now into the downtown Little Rock area. A closer look at what's happening in Fordyce, Princeton, Rising. You've got a heavy thunderstorm moving through. Certainly some heavy rain, occasional lightning and thunder, but everything staying below severe limits. And of course, that is exactly what we want to see here on radar this afternoon. Whitehall, Pine Bluff seeing a shower and storm move through, and it is going to be in southern Arkansas where we continue to find that chance of showers and thunderstorms today. It should start to taper off as we get into the evening hours. Your chance of rain about 40% through 2 o'clock, dropping to about 20% by 4 p.m. What's the rest of the week and the weekend have in store for us? I've got your answers coming up in your extended forecast.
Now, the very latest on the deadly mass shooting at a medical clinic in Tulsa. Here's what we know right now. As many as 14 people were shot at the St. Francis Health System campus on Wednesday afternoon. 4 people were killed. As many as 10 others were shot, but police haven't confirmed the exact number. The motive remains unclear, but police say the gunman used a handgun and a rifle before turning the gun on himself. Workers in the clinic hid in closets until police came and got them.
I'm very shaken up. I mean, I've seen it on TV this last couple of weeks, and it's startling to just have to go through that. It's very, very scary.
The nonprofit Gun Violence Archive says this is the country's 233rd mass shooting this year. It's also the 12th mass shooting where 4 or more people were killed. A House committee is likely to move along a new gun reform bill today, but it's not expected to pass the Senate. Some states are not waiting for the federal government to act. Skylar Henry has the latest from Washington.
In the aftermath of yet another mass shooting, this time in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the House Judiciary Committee is voting on a set of gun control proposals with Democrats intent on passing a bill toughening national gun laws. The 41-page Protecting Our Kids Act would clamp down on gun trafficking, encourage safe gun storage, restrict large-capacity ammunition feeding devices, and raise the legal age to buy certain guns to 21.
This country is awash in guns. 400 million guns.
The full House could vote on the measures next week, but even if it passes there, it's unlikely to get the buy-in needed in an evenly divided Senate to become law. On the Senate side, a handful of lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have been meeting virtually this week, looking for common ground on gun control legislation. Connecticut Democrat Chris Murphy says the senators are discussing background checks, red flag laws, safe gun storage, and school security.
We've had really productive discussions. Our goal is to get a piece of legislation that saves lives.
Republican leadership is looking to limit the conversation.
And it seems to me there are 2 broad categories that underscore the problem: mental illness and school safety.
While lawmakers in Washington debate, some states are already taking action. Following the Buffalo supermarket shooting, New York Governor Kathy Hochul and state Democrats have introduced 10 bills to tighten gun laws and close loopholes. And in Texas, where a gunman killed 19 children and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Governor Greg Abbott is now calling for the creation of special committees to address school security and firearm safety. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And new this afternoon, a murder suspect in Hot Spring County is behind bars. Deputies arrested 30-year-old Jeremy Costin last night. Costin was wanted in the shooting death of Jonathan Schreiner. He was found dead inside a home on Old Mill Road, east of Malvern, on Tuesday. Deputies say Costin fled after the shooting, and they tracked him down yesterday. He's charged with first-degree murder. And this evening, police are also asking for your help finding a 13-year-old girl. Jessica Lynn Lowry was last seen around 11 Monday night at the Petit Jean State Park campground area. When she was last seen, she was wearing a teal tank top, gray shorts, and blue Crocs. If you have any information, you are asked to call Conway County Sheriff's Office or your local police department. And happening today, some of the country's best amateur anglers are in Hot Springs for a big fishing tournament. The 39th annual Phoenix Bass Fishing League All-American is on Lake Hamilton for the next 3 days. 49 teams are competing for the top prize of $120,000. The tournament is estimated to bring $1 million economic boost to the Spa City. I will actually be out on the water tomorrow bright and early, bringing you the latest on this tournament. So make sure to tune in to Wake Up Central from 5 to 7 a.m. And in other news, we're talking about student loan forgiveness. More than 500,000 people who attended Corinthian colleges will have their student debt wiped away by the Biden administration. The for-profit school filed for bankruptcy and closed in 2015. It has been accused of predatory behavior. A Virginia jury awarded Johnny Depp over $10 million in a defamation case against his ex-wife Amber Heard. The case centered around her claims of physical and emotional abuse during their marriage. The jury also awarded $2 million to Heard after finding Depp liable for defaming her when his lawyer called her allegations a hoax. And more baby formula is headed to the U.S. A third and fourth round of shipments will come from London and Australia over a three-week period beginning next Thursday. Some of the formula will be available at Target stores. And Facebook is losing its second in command. Sheryl Sandberg, who has been with the company since 2008, is stepping down as chief operating officer. She will stay on the board of directors. The company's longtime chief growth officer will replace her as COO. 4 days of festivities are underway in Britain when the nation celebrates Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne. Our Ian Lee has more from Buckingham Palace.
Crowds surged toward Buckingham Palace to catch a glimpse of Queen Elizabeth as Royal Air Force jets thundered overhead. 70 aircraft soared through the sky in a celebratory salute to the Queen. The 96-year-old smiled as jets flew in formation to mark her 70-year reign.
We'll never see anything like that ever again. Well worth getting up at 4 a.m. for this.
Working members of the royal family stood at the monarch's side. Prince Harry and Meghan, who gave up royal responsibilities when they moved to California, are in London, but keeping a low profile. The Platinum Jubilee kicked off Thursday morning with the ceremonial Trooping the Color, showcasing more than 1,000 soldiers and hundreds of horses. And with a milestone this big, all the big guns come out. And the show isn't over yet. This is a 4-day nationwide bash filled with concerts, pageants, and street parties. Thousands are packing parks across London to be a part of history.
You know, it's 70 years she's been on the throne and she's done so much for the country, and it's just incredible.
The Queen's obviously been around for such a long time. She's been the only Queen that we've ever known.
Queen Elizabeth is Britain's longest-serving monarch and the first to reach the milestone of 7 decades on the throne. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Tomorrow, the Queen is expected to attend a service of Thanksgiving at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. And new at noon, some exciting news for Razorback fans. Arkansas football head coach Sam Pittman has signed a new contract. According to the school, the contract increases his base compensation and extends his employment agreement through potentially the 2027 season based on on-field success. In a statement, Director of Athletics Hunter Yurachek said, "Last fall, we won 4 trophies, including one for our victory in the Outback Bowl, and enjoyed our best season in a decade. And I believe we're just getting started." End quote. We're going to have more on the new contract tonight at 6 and 10. Could the information tracked in a period tracking app be used against you in court? Our National Verify team has that answer when the News at Noon returns.
Here's a live look off towards the west where rain continues to move in from. We'll have a look at radar as well as when the rain's finally going to come to an end. Again, your extended forecast.